Trevor Penning had one heck of a Senior Bowl. The Northern Iowa tackle excelled in the run game. He showed off his play strength, his physicality, and that chippiness and ability to play to the whistle. But is he a fit for the New York Jets? Let's take a look back at his time in Mobile and also how he'd project in the New York Jets outside zone system. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Luke from Play Like a Jet back with you, and we're talking more Senior Bowl, and this time Trevor Penning. He captured the attention of the entire draft community. He skyrocketed up board. So let's take a look at his week. But I also want to talk about some truths, about some issues he has with his game from a technicality standpoint, and then also how he fits into this Jets system. So let's get into the tape. Down in Mobile, had an incredible week. I already mentioned it. He's at left tackle here. I want you to look at just the ability to finish and the nastiness and that edge he plays with. So we'll watch it through, we'll slow it down this time, does a good job getting his hands inside, stands up the defensive end, and then this is quintessential Trevor Penning. This is what we saw throughout the whole week, the ability to just use that strength and throw people to the ground and make every snap count. That's what made him stand out. That's why he has got the attention he has received in the NFL community. You can see it here in a pass pro. At left tackle, that's where he played at Northern Iowa. Pretty good first step. I like the way he fires out of his stance. Quick pass set. He's in his position ready to go. What I don't love, and this is going to be a theme of this video, is the outside hands-on contact. He very rarely gets tight hands. He's always playing outside the shoulder pads, and on this occasion, does a nice job dropping the anchor. He gets pushed back a little bit, but you can see him stonewall, good base width, ability to arch the back and drop his hips. And then, again, look at the finish. Now, it's been a debate. After he threw him on the ground here, came across, pushed him in the head into the ground. Don't love it personally. Like, I get it. You're playing for your NFL career. You're showing how chippy and how much you want it. But you got to love the finish regardless. The ability to just throw a grown man at 6'7" to the floor, that's impressive. And that was throughout the tape. It was littered on the Mobile tape. Another example of Penning in pass pro. Again, fires out of his stance pretty well. He's in good positioning. But again, what I don't like are the wide hands. As I freeze it right here, look how his hands are almost wrapped around the back of number 51. That's not a position you will win with ever in the NFL. Right now he can get away with it. Small school guy, 6'7". Look how the rep continues to unfold. He works his hands inside, does a nice job, but also plays very upright with his pads. He never wins the leverage battle, and that concerns me. Let it roll all the way through. Again, play strength, throwing to the ground, finish, play to the whistle. We love those aspects. He wins this rep. But with the technique he uses, the wide hands, and also just how vertical he is in his stance and that pad level on impact right here, bang, he just always loses at the point of attack, and that's a bit of a concern for me. And this was the rep where it came into fruition, and you saw all those technical deficiencies come to the fore. So, gets out of his stance well, but again, he's taking quick pass sets his feet, has that kind of static base where he's just waiting for the defensive end, and look at him just come through his chest and drive him 10 plus yards past the line of scrimmage. Again, look at the hands. Outside that left hand shoulder pad, and then just gets taken through the chest because, again, he's standing upright. Look how he always loses at the point of attack. That's a concern for me. And even though he had a good week and he showed off that, edgy, nasty streak, and I know Joe Douglas formed a relationship with him, I just think there's too many technical flaws here that won't stand out and be abused at tackle in the NFL. Now, is Trevor Penning a fit for the Jets? At tackle, absolutely not. I know Joe Douglas had an affinity for him, and they played him at guard a little bit, and we'll talk about that at the end. But as a tackle, in this wide zone system where you need that athleticism and the ability to move in space, you see it with Becton, you see it with George Fant. Penning doesn't have that. He's at left tackle here. Let's take a look at some game situations. I want you to watch how he tries to avoid the defensive tackle and get to the second level. Look how stiff he is. He doesn't have the ability to be fluid in space and change direction, and he allows that linebacker to come in and make the tackle on the running back. This is on Trevor Penning. This is because of his lack of fluidity in space, his inability to change direction, and he just can't make that play. He has physical limitations that do not suit tackle in the NFL, never mind this system with the New York Jets. Another example, this time on the right-hand side of your screen, still at left tackle though, does a nice job initially getting out of his stance and covers really nice ground. It's not his straight ahead mobility, it's the change of direction. Watch when the DB tries to wiggle away from him and bounce outside, and he knows he's going to try and bounce outside. Penning's just left wanting. He can't change direction quickly. And people are going to say, well, he's a tackle. Of course he can't match a corner in space. Mekhi Becton makes this play. George Fant makes this play. Penning just doesn't quite have that athleticism. And even though he has lots of good qualities, he's not a fit here for the Jets at tackle. What he does well in the run game, though, man blocking, backside blocking, sealing. You see him here, just the ability to stonewall. This guy gets nowhere in 4 or 5 seconds. Watch it from the start of the rep. The defensive end does not make an impression. When he's asked to just block a guy and seal, or man block, he's fantastic. I'll show you another example again. Left tackle, out of his stance quickly, better tight inside hands. Still playing a little high in his pads for my liking, but he has that really stable base, the ability to walk his legs through contact. On the backside of plays, I like him, and he could play right tackle in the right system in the NFL. It's just not here in New York. So would I draft Trevor Penning to play tackle in the NFL? No, I wouldn't. Not in this Jets scheme. I don't think he's a fit. Can he play right guard? Absolutely. He still lacks some ideal athleticism like Elijah Vera Tucker. You see how good he is at space, climbing to the second level. He's not that type of guard, but at right guard, I think he could do an adequate job. I wouldn't take him in the first round at all. And I know this is going to be a controversial video because Penning's had such an incredible week down in Mobile and everyone's loved his tape. But for me, he's a round 2 prospect. He's a guard in the NFL who could play right tackle. He's a fit for the Jets at right guard if they choose to. I'd still like a guy like Zion Johnson better. He had a good week. I just don't think he's quite going to live up to that hype.